Hello everybody, I'm Jimmy Fantastic and this is my Nurgle guide. So this guide is a little bit early because they're not released to the public until the 22nd of November, Tuesday 7 PM European time on PC. However, at the moment they're available in solo leagues. Only the AI can use them, as you can see. This is an AI team. So yeah, let's get into it. Nurgle are my favourite team, arguably the best high TV team in the game, and arguably the worst low TV team in the game. I've played my most amount of games on Fumble with Nurgle. I've won my major on Fumble with Nurgle, and so yeah, it's pretty good. So this is pretty much the only build you can make with Nurgle because their rerolls are 70k, which I think their reroll should be 60k because it wouldn't affect them at low TV. It would make them a bit better at low TV. It wouldn't really affect them at high TV. Yeah, I mean, this is it. You Beast, you 4 Warriors, a Pestigor, and some Rotters. There's no real... what I have done in a matchmaking environment, I've started without the Beast, but with 3 Pestigors, 4 Warriors, and 2 rerolls. That's a bit of an option to like just keep your TV down. The other option is you could drop one of these warriors down to a rotter and start with 3 rerolls. I really don't like that. Or you could drop the beast down and just have a 3rd reroll. But I don't like that. But as you can see from the costing, you know, this beast of Nurgle, you drop him, you get 100k. You put 70k into your reroll and you've got 30k left, and you just don't get another Pestigor. If the rerolls were 60 and you could drop this beast and get an extra Pestigor, you know, it would give you a lot of options, but this is pretty much the only option you've got for a starting team. You know, it's far more powerful than the others, I believe, because basically when you create a starting team, your trade-off is between rerolls for reliability and players for power, and Nurgle lack power so much that you've got to go for the most power you can get, which is a rather lame amount of power. And if you go for more reliability, your team's just going to be absolutely terrible. So I think this is pretty much the only starting roster you can go with. As regards to the different formats of Blood Bowl, I would say 110 TV, you know, NAF style tabletop tournaments. Don't even bother with Nurgle because they're awful. Short tabletop leagues. Don't even bother with Nurgle because they're awful. If you're in a perpetual league, online league like UKBBL, or perpetual matchmaking like Cabal Vision, then or Fumble Black Box, then there you go. That's when they shine. After they've played about 40 or 50 games, they actually start to get good. So as you can see, they don't have an option for an apothecary because they've got 9 regen players eventually, and everyone on the team has this skill here, which is Nurgle's Rot. This effectively replaces the Raise Dead that the Necromancers and Undead teams have. When this player kills with a block, blitz or foul action, they get a new rookie rotter, but they get it after the game. However, it's not limited to 1 player. So you could kill 3 players and get 3 rotters for the next game, but you never get one in the game as it's happening. So it is both a plus and minus to the Raise Dead of the Necromancer that Undead and Necromantic get. So like that's okay, but really you've got to discount it for the players because it's basically a team effect. Decay, one of the worst skills in the game conceptually, I believe. Like in terms of game design, it adds a little bit of fluff to rotters, but it ruins Khemri Tomb Guardians. I think it's awful. Basically, their body's decaying, so they get injured twice. It doesn't really affect much, like, you know, you might get badly hurt and miss next game, or dead or whatever. So they take more perms than other positions, they die more than other positions, they miss next game more than other positions. But, you know, they're 40k for 5338, which is great value, and they've got general mutation access. Pretty much the only skill they take is Dirty Player. You could go Wrestle Fend on some, like, if you want linemen, but mostly I just get a couple of dirty players, maybe even 3 dirty players. You know, I've seen some people double for Mighty Blow, go block Mighty Blow, and then take their Claw for their mutation. But I don't think it's worth it when you've got Pestigors and Nurgle Warriors that can fulfill that role. Their role is one of fodder and fouling, so I would not take movement, I would not take agility. I would probably take strength, I guess. Doubles, I would take guard, without any doubt. Well, maybe, yeah, I wouldn't take it over Dirty Player. I wouldn't take Dirty Player over Guard. Now, this is the big boy of the team. He's pretty cool, as you can see. He's got 4519, really stupid loner, mighty blow, regen, just like a troll. The difference is he's 140k instead of 110k, and he's got these 3 extra skills. Disturbing Presence. So this is him and the Nurgle warriors all have Disturbing Presence. It's not really relevant. Sometimes you'll try to pass against Nurgle, and this will be a factor. But good players will play around it. You know, and obviously if you're a Nurgle player, you will try to put them so that you get the Disturbing Presence, but it's often not going to matter, really. You know, people don't really generally try to pass. If they do, it's desperation. So it does sometimes shut down desperation plays. So I wouldn't ever choose it as a skill, but for free, it's you know, it's something. Foul Appearance. This is pretty good, actually. Underrated skill. I would never take it on purpose, but for free, it's pretty good. Every time you want to punch him with a block, you've got, or something like it, like a chainsaw, you've got to roll a 2+. So they don't suffer a turnover, but it weights the action. So what this means is when you have, you know, Beasts of Nurgle and Nurgle warriors, when they've got Stand Firm, if a push does nothing to them and Foul Appearance does nothing to them, and then they get to hit you back, which is pretty good. Tentacles is amazing. So it says here, when you try to dodge away or leap away, you roll 2d6, add their strength, and subtract the Tentacles player's strength, and if it's 5 or less, they're held firm and their action ends immediately. I'll put the links to the maths below, so you can look at the maths of the, both the Foul Appearance and Stand Firm, and the Tentacles, but basically it's great. It's an absolutely fantastic skill on a Strength 5 player. And it's even good on Strength 4, to be honest. As you can see, they've only got Strength access, so they want Guard, Stand Firm. Break Tackle, probably, because doubles they go and block and dodge to be immovable objects. They probably don't need movement, definitely don't want agility. You could take Strength on a double 6 just to make their Tentacles better. They're probably the only big guy that I'd consider taking the Strength over block. But I don't know which one I'd take because I haven't rolled a double 6. I'd probably think about it for a day or two. Not sure whether I'd go Strength or block on them, but definitely block and dodge, guard and stand firm, and just, you know, be an immovable wall. That's what they want to be, 100%. Now, speaking of immovable walls, we have the Nurgle Warriors. So they look pretty cool, quite like the normal Chaos Warriors in models wise. They've got general strength mutation, but they're basically a Black Orc for 110k. And they're paying 30k for potential, you know. The regen, not so good at low TV. Foul Appearance, doesn't really do much at low TV because it just means you're giving your opponent a chance to hit you with an unskilled Black Orc, which might just 1 in 9 fail and turn over. So these skills are basically irrelevant. This isn't really a skill, and this is almost irrelevant at low TV. However, when they get skilled up, they all become pretty good. There's a few ways you can skill them. Generally, a lot of people on the internet talk about Nurgle as a control team. Well, I don't really subscribe to this theory. I don't think there's such thing as a control team in Blood Bowl, really. They're just a bash team. All bash teams try to control the pitch, try to control where blocks are made, minimize. Every team tries to minimize blocks that they take, maximize blocks that they make. There's nothing new about that. However, what they do get is the combination of Foul Appearance and Stand Firm and Strength 4 with block and guard. So I tend to build a couple of them like roadblocks, which would be block, guard, stand firm, tentacles, and dodge on a double. And then, you know, that becomes an immovable object. Stand firm compared with Foul Appearance, and blodge is an amazing roadblock. Or you can, rather than tentacles, you could go block, dodge, stand firm, guard, claw, mighty blow. They're all valid options. But I tended to do 2, block, guard, stand firm, tentacles. That's the way I tend to build 2 of them. Then one of them I build block, guard, mighty blow, claw piling on, because mighty blow, claw piling on is too good to ignore. And one I tend to fast track mighty blow, claw piling on, then block, because Nurgle are so bad early, you have to get lucky to stand a chance, pretty much. And that's another reason why I think the Beast is the better build, just because he lets you make Mighty Blow blitzers, Mighty Blow blocks. You've got to pretty much get Nurgle or terrible. I mean, they are the worst team in the game, pretty much at low team value. At least Goblins and Halflings are fun. Nurgle are pretty much just a frustrating mess at low TV. So that's how I build them. You know, you could go all four, could go block guard, stand firm route. I think that's fine. You know, I wouldn't call it wrong, but I do like to get that Mighty Blow and Claw in there. You know, just because otherwise you're going to have a bad day against Chaos, other Nurgle, and even Dwarves and Orcs. And then here is the players that have to do all of the ball handling for them, pretty much, because the Rotters are strength movement 5. And stats, sorry, I forgot. Stats wise on the warrior, obviously you want strength. If you take strength, you go tentacles instantly without even thinking about it. I don't like block, I don't like movement or agility on them either. I don't like either of those on them because they already start too low. I don't like agility on Chaos Warriors, to be honest. But because they start too low, there's definitely no point trying to rescue these stats. And they get so much value from normals, you know. Also, if you go Mighty Blow Claw piling on, you might want to use a double to get jump up. Otherwise, get dodge. So, right, here's the Pestigors. Pretty cool models, I think. Big bellies. They're basically a Beastman for 80k. Again, this is another, you know, at low TV, they're really poor. You know, this isn't really a skill. Regens, fair enough, it's good when you've got 9 players, but low TV, it's not really an issue. So they're essentially like Beastmen. And I like to build 2 of them: the block, Mighty Blow, Claw piling on route. Lame, you may think, but you need these killers. I think if you don't build killers, you're just wrong. You know, you're playing suboptimally if you don't at least have 1 killer. Everybody's got to make 16 blitzers in a match. You might as well be doing it with a guy who's got Mighty Blow at least. Even elves, I want a Mighty Blow player. These they can get Claw, Mighty Blow piling on. They've got to. So I tend to build 2 of them, one with tackle, one with frenzy, to get. Obviously, doubles, they take jump up, but I only take jump up after I've got Claw, Mighty Blow piling on. I don't like to be inefficient with doubles. I like to do 2 with that, and then the 2 warriors, so you've potentially got 4 Claw, Mighty Blow piling on. You're normally not going to have that all at one go, but if you're building for it, you've got that redundancy all the time. General strength mutation on normals, which is obviously great. Then you've got 2 like this. One of them wants to be like a utility player, and I don't really know how to build him. Block, dodge, guard. You know, dodge on doubles is probably the way you're going to do him. 2 heads. You could make him wrestle tackle, wrestle strip. There's a few ways you could build the 4th Pestigor. I'm not really sure. And then you want your ball carrier. Your ball carrier wants block first skill. Or I tend to give them all block first skill, because the first one to get a stat becomes the ball carrier. And they're all good, really. You want as many stats as you can get on your ball carrier. The ideal ball carrier, I think, would be movement 8, strength 3, agility 4, and block, dodge, sure hands. You definitely want block, dodge, sure hands on him, and you definitely want as many stats as possible on your ball carrier. 2 heads is a great one, so he can dodge around better, and maybe fend, kick off return, or tackle, something like this, because you lean heavily on your Pestigors. So giving him that, you know, you really want redundancy with your Pestigors. So you want tackle on, but you could have tackle on all of them, it would be all right, and as many stats as you can get. The killers don't want stats as much. The killers don't really want agility or movement, because it does delay them getting kill skills, but they're still useful, and obviously strength is useful on a killer too. So yeah, that's Pestigors, and that's the team pretty much. They're a great team, as I say. My favourite team. They're a great team at high team value. Once they get to 2,000 TV, they become monsters. Before that, they're really bloaty, which is appropriate for Nurgle. They pay a lot for what they get, and for a long time, a lot of that is potential, and it takes a long time for them to fulfill their potential. So if you're giving them a go, don't lose heart if you struggle your first few games, because they will pay off in the end. And yeah, so they're out soon. I'm about to now do a stream, which I'll put on YouTube as well, where I'll play against the AI, so you can see all the animations and everything. So and I'll leave the stats with Stand Firm and Tentacles and stuff in the description. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.